Okay, question 8. I made a mess of one of the parts in it, so I just want to run through the answers. The first part was just straightforward, plotting the h and the g on the scatter plot, and they give you the coordinates there. There's nothing crazy about that. And then drawing the line of best fit. Again, nothing too crazy there. And then use your line best fit to read off two values. So my terrible line gave me 30 and 42 as the answers here. Hopefully you got something similar. And then they asked, which one are you more confident in? And the reason I opted for the K is because the K was in the data set here, whereas the L was out here at the 40. So L was outside the data set. And then the next part, part 5, just plug the numbers into the calculator in the correlation mode to calculate the correlations. So these first 5 parts really quick, snap, 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 no problem to them. And then this one here, why is the correlation 0? Because the graph isn't linear. It's not linear at all. I screwed up on part C, which I want to do again. And I'll just run through part D before I go back to part C. The first thing I did was just calculate the probability that the events could happen. And then beside it, I wrote the probability that the events wouldn't happen. So just 1 minus these 3. Nothing too crazy about that. Those are the 3 there. Now the first one is, should he replace his gasket? So if he chooses no, then he has a 0.095 chance of paying 20,000 euros, which has an expected value of 19,000. If he chooses yes, he has to definitely pay 1450 plus a 0.005 chance of paying 20,000, which works out as an expected value of 1550. So it works out in terms of expectation to be better to replace it. And then, as I was saying in the prep class, when they ask you for the probability of an at least 1, that's the same as 1 minus none. 1 minus none. So 1 minus none of these happening. So 1 minus not this and not this and not this. So if you multiply those 3 no probabilities together, you'll get 0.8045. So you get 0.195 in total. And that's nobody's reported any problems with this. It's just this one here I really screwed up, which I want to redo. So just to explain the logic and then try not to make a mistake. And I guess if I do make a mistake, I'll cut the end of this video out and just post up a solution separately for part C. So if you were to count out 13, the middle is 7, which is 54. So counting out from the lowest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The median is 54. These guys have to be more than 54, and they can't equal 54 because you can't have duplicates. So the smallest value S could be is 55. But remember, if the S is 55, we could work out what the M is because the mean has to be 52. So when I calculated this earlier, if you add up all the numbers, 46 plus 68 plus 24 plus 74 plus 42 plus 30 plus 61 plus 54 plus 28 plus 50 plus 57, you get here 534 plus M over 13 has to equal 52. So rearranging this, you get S plus M has to equal 142. So that means the M has to be 87. So when S is 55, M is 87. And it means the greatest value is the flip situation. When S is 87, M will be 55. So 55 and 87. Now just make sure there are no 87s here already. No. And make sure there's no 55s. No. And both of them is more than 54, so they won't affect the median. And let's just make sure the mean works out okay. So 46 plus 68 plus 24 plus 74 plus 42 plus 30 plus 61 plus 54 plus 28 plus 50 plus 57 plus 55 plus 87 over 13. That's 52. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's okay now. I sure hope so.